How's it going, guys? Accessorizing and adding jewelry to your fit can be a really great complementary way to stand out and just overall look really put together and look like you know what you're doing. So I wanted to make a video talking about the do's and don'ts of wearing jewelry and really how to accessorize properly so you can snag that 10 out of 10 or just feel your best self. So with that said, let's get into it. Now, the first thing you gotta do is figure out if you're a gold or a silver person. For me, I'm a gold guy through and through. I just love the look of it, and having a little bit tanner of a skin, I think it complements me just a little bit better. So everyone's gonna be different, but definitely figure out what you think looks best on you. If you're not sure, go to a jewelry store and try some things on, or just look at it and see what catches your eye. I think that's a great place to start. And who knows, you may be a bit of both and be able to rock it, but I personally stick to gold only. Now, once you figured out whether you're a gold or silver guy, you're gonna wanna add statement pieces. And the first thing I think you should add into your wardrobe is a necklace. It's a great place to start. I've been wearing this for years now, actually, and I think it's one of the more popular jewelry items you'll see on a guy, so it's certainly a must. Now, I will say the length is a huge thing when it comes to picking out your necklace. So I wouldn't go too long or too short, like it looks like you're wearing a choker. This is a 16-inch, and it's about as short as I would want to go. I think it looks great, and I like the short look. It's definitely a bit different because I feel like more people wear a longer chain. So I think 16 to 18 inches is probably gonna be your best bet, especially if you're just venturing out in jewelry. Another thing you could do is add a medallion, and that's something I've certainly considered with this, but I just haven't found anything that's like meaningful or looks good. And I honestly think a lot of them look really cheesy, so for me, I opt to not wear one. Another option would be to layer your chains and go 2 chains, which is definitely a thing. And if you do it right, I think it looks really good as well. So again, I probably wouldn't go with a 16-inch like this and then have a 20. I think the gap would be too big. And again, you also don't want it to be too short and have them overlap too much. So I think doing either a 16 and an 18-inch would look really good, or an 18 and a 20, just depending on your preference and build and things like that. Now with chains, you also have to consider this style as well. I personally think this is a timeless look right here, and I think it looks a lot better than kind of like an Italian style chain where it's like that 3 on and then 1 and then 3. I don't know how to describe it or exactly what the term is. I'll show it here so you know what I'm seeing, but I think that's like the most basic and just so overplayed. So do something a little bit different. I think a rope chain is a really good looking option as well. So those are some different styles that I would look into. But again, it all comes down to preference and what you think looks best on you. Now, if you're finding this video helpful so far, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up to get it to more people just like you, and also subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Now with that said, let's keep going. Next up is gonna be a bracelet, and I have a permanent bracelet here and I think it looks really good. I definitely would opt for more of a thin and sleek looking bracelet. You don't want it to be super bulky and attract a ton of attention. You want it to accent your outfits really well. So that's why I opt for thinner chains, just because I think it looks good. And honestly, like a big bulky chain just really is not it, in my opinion. So try to avoid those if you can. And also a thinner chain is gonna be a lot cheaper, especially if you're buying real gold too. So something to consider there. Next up is gonna be rings. I am not a ring guy. It's definitely a statement piece. It's just really not my thing. The biggest thing here would just to be not to overdo it, and also make sure you're wearing rings that accent the other items of your jewelry. So I personally would not wear a silver ring with a gold bracelet and vice versa, whatever it is. Just be sure to keep things in line, and that's why at the beginning of the video I said pick one and stick to it. It's just gonna make it a lot easier and cheaper for you in the long haul. So again, with rings, just be sure maybe have 1 or 2 on each hand, and that should be max. I think sticking to 3 total rings is more than enough. Anything past that, I think you might be overdoing it a bit. And last but not least, for jewelry, I think earrings is honestly out. I think some girls might be into it, but I'd say 95% of the time you're gonna be giving someone ick. So I think it's just safe to probably avoid it. It's really cheesy. I mean, it's not like you're gonna be wearing real diamond earrings, so I personally would not do that. But again, it's totally up to you, and that's just my preference. Take it or leave it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Please go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you would like. I do fashion videos on this channel all the time, and I think you would enjoy the other content that I have here. So with that said, have a great day, and I'll catch you on the next video.